Hey guys, welcome back again to Playwright with Java Automation Testing Session 35. In today's session, you will learn Playwright Java Assertions using JUnit 5 library, different kind of important key JUnit 5 assertions, and how you can run multiple JUnit classes with JUnit 5. So JUnit is one of the most popular unit testing framework in the Java ecosystem. The JUnit 5 version contains a number of exciting innovations with the goal of supporting new features in Java 8 and above, as well as enabling many different styles of testing. Playwright Java integrates with Unit 5, allowing for robust web-first assertion directly within test method. Playwright assertions are designed to automatically wait for condition to be met, which simplifies testing of dynamic web application. User can combine Playwright web-first assertion with standard JUnit assertion for non-web specific checks or for immediate non-waiting assertion. So definitely Playwright will be having different level of assertions already, like page level, locator level, negative assertion as well, which are mostly kind of handle, right, the web first assertions. But with the help of JUnit, immediate or not non-waiting assertions can be handled. So we'll see how we can integrate Playwright Java with JUnit 5 in today's video. Assertions are utility method to support asserting condition in test. These methods are accessible through assert class in case you are using JUnit 4, or assertion class in case you are using JUnit 5. But today we will be learning JUnit 5 primarily. To use JUnit 5 assert method, user need to import org.junit.jupyter.api assertion class. All the JUnit assertion method are static method which will provide a range of utility method to assert condition in test. So in case you want to add JUnit 5 any version, latest version, it is very straightforward. Okay, user just need to go to the Maven repository, need to search with JUnit 5. After that you can go for any versions, and then you need to take that Maven dependency, and after that whatever Maven project you created, you need to go to the pom.xml file, you need to add the dependency. So here we can use any of the versions which is JUnit 5. Okay, so we'll see how we can implement it. So let's go to the Eclipse here. First, we'll go to the pom.xml file. This is the project already created, step-by-step Playwright training tutorials, where in the last session you already implemented TestNG as well with with Java Playwright, and today we'll implement JUnit 5. So if you click on the pom.xml file, you need to add that JUnit 5 dependency. So for that, you need to go to the Maven repository path, and you need to search with JUnit 5. So instead of that, you can directly go to the Maven repository path simply. Okay, and here you can simply type JUnit 5 because we want to take the JUnit 5 version. Right, automatically JUnit Jupyter API, that part will come. Okay, you can click on that one and you will be getting a lot of versions here. We can go with the latest available version like 5.13.3. Okay, and as we are created the Maven project, so we need to take this Maven dependency, copy it, and simply go to that pom.xml file, and we can add the dependency under the dependency section, and you can just save the project. So it will take couple of seconds time, okay, to add that JUnit 5 dependency into the Maven dependency section. So now you could see, in case it's adding, right, you could able to see JUnit Jupyter API 5.13.13 jar file being added, right? Apart from the JUnit platform commands also added, right? So this is the stuff is first we need to do. Okay, after that what we need to do, we can create a class here. Okay, in any of the packages in the src java folder, so we'll be creating a class in the assertion package. So we can give some class name called playwright java JUnit season 35. Okay, so we are not selecting the public static void main method because we want to use that JUnit annotations for the execution. We are simply clicking on the OK button. Now what we need to do, like we'll be adding, we'll be using all the important key annotations from the JUnit 5. So in JUnit 5 framework, like there are different annotations available for the test case design. Most key important annotations in JUnit 5 are test, before each, after each, before all, after all. Okay, basically annotation provides supplement information about the program in Java. Annotation should be always start with @symbol. So @ annotations means it denotes a method as a test method, whereas before each method, this annotated method execute before each test method in the test case, whereas after each, this annotated method execute after each test method in the test case by sending signal to JUnit, whereas before all, this sends signal to JUnit, like the annotate method should be executed once before all the test case in the class. Similarly, after all, this annotation sends signal to JUnit, that is, this annotate method should be run after all the test cases are executed in this class. We'll implement all the annotations here. So what we'll be doing, we'll be using first before all, okay, which will be executing before all the class related details executed. So we can create something called static void. Okay, we can give something called method name called launch browser. Okay, just simply we are creating the method. Okay, we need to import that one before all, which we need to import from org.junit.jupyter.api. Similarly, we'll be adding all the details, body here later. Okay, after before all, we can add after all. Okay, in the after all, we can give something called close the browser. So we'll be closing the browser at the end of all the execution. So we need to import that after all from the again org.junit.jupyter API. After that, we will try to do something called before each, which will be executed before every method. So we can change that method name, right, called create context and page. So where we will be trying to create the new context and page, and in the launch browser we will try to create a object or instance for Playwright and the browser, and the create and context page will be create the object or instance for the context and page only. So we can import that before each from the org.junit.jupyter.api. Similarly, after before each, we can go with after each. Okay, so we'll be changing to after each, where we can give the method name called close context. We can close the context only. Okay, we need to import that after each from the org.junit.jupyter API, and we can also write something called @test, which will be our main test method. Okay, where we can give some name called static void. So I want to deal with the Facebook page, so I can give the method name called Facebook page validation. Okay, we will add all the details later. So we need to import that annotation also from org.junit.jupyter API. Now, what we will be doing, we will be adding all the important steps for creating the object or instance for Playwright, browser context and page. So definitely we need to declare some global variable. So what we will be doing, okay, so we already created the last session yesterday, right? Okay, in the last session Playwright we already implemented. So what we do here, okay, let's see what are the stuff we did. Okay, these are the stuff we already did for the Playwright part, so we'll simply copy it. Okay, because these are the global variable we want to declare at the class level. Okay, so public static, we are creating an object for the Playwright interface. We are creating an object, global object, or like global variable for the browser object, and browser text, context and page also, right? We are defining it. Now what we'll be doing in that, launch browser, what we can do, we will try to add this important two step. Okay, because we want to just launch the browser, right? After creating the Playwright object, we are adding the step for launching the browser only. So there we'll be adding these two steps. Okay, so we are creating the object for Playwright, we are creating the object for browsers, right? Interface, where we are trying to, right, open that Chrome browsers, and execution will be headful mode, and we will be maximizing it. And after all, we want to close the browser. So what do we need to do? We want to close that Playwright instance. So we will be closing that Playwright dot close. After all the execution is over, we'll close the Playwright instance. And before each, what we will be doing, we'll be creating the context and page object. So this is the two step we can use it. That is the reason we have defined the global variable for Playwright browser context and page interface, so that we can access those variable in any of the method within the class. And after each, what we'll be doing, we'll be closing the context. So simply we can close the context. Context dot close. That's all. So this is the four important method. In the before all, we are trying to simply launch the browsers, means we are opening the Playwright instance. After that, we are trying to open a new browser instance. Okay, whereas in the before each, it will be applicable for every method, where every time we want to open a new context and we want to create a new page, and after all will be executed once all your classes method execution complete. So we want to close the Playwright instance, and after each, means after every method, we want to close that every context whatever will be opening in the browser. Okay, now at the rate test will be our adding our important test case. So what we'll be doing, we can open that part, right? So okay, so this is the part I can do. Okay, so first see, just I am changing it here. So code before JUnit assertion implemented. Okay, I can remove this one because this part is not required, because coming from the test engine, here we want to implement that JUnit only, and we want to navigate to a page. Okay, say Facebook page. This is the page you want to navigate. Okay, so you can change that page dot navigate URL, and after execution is over, we can check whether our code after any JUnit assertions implemented. Now here we want to actually implement our JUnit assertion. So what we'll be doing here, so after Facebook page is open, so JUnit assertion I can definitely do at page level as well as locator level. Okay, so what are the different JUnit assertions are available? The JUnit 5 provides different method in assertion class for checking the expected result. Assertions are used to check if the condition is true. If the condition is false, the test fail. Common assertions are included in JUnit 5. The key assertion are assert equal, it will check if two values are equal. Assert true, check if the condition is true. Assert false, it will check if the condition is false. Assert not null, it will check if the object is not null. Similarly, assert not equal also there, right, where you can validate like the different data type like string, integer, float, boolean, all this stuff you can also byte, everything we can check it. Now what we'll do, we already navigating to the page, right, Facebook page. Now what we can do, we can get page dot URL. So this will give me the current URL of the page, right? Return type is string, so I can store some string variable, string actual URL. Okay, it will be coming. And what is my expected URL? So this is my expected URL. So what I can do, I can again store in some string variable called expected URL equal to this value. I can give it within the double quote. Okay. Now what I can do, I can call the assertions class available in Playwright. Assertion class dot assert equal, right? Assert equal. Okay. I can try to check these two string. Okay, so I can call the relevant method. Okay, there should be string related part. Okay, anything you can call and there will be not be issue. Okay, we can just change it to string. This integer is there, byte is there, you could see character is there, double is there, right? You can check with float, you can check with integers, you can check with sort. Okay, there will be also strings will be also available. Okay, you can check with strings as well. So these are the different methods available. Okay, so I can take anything here, I can just check it, give it here. Okay, assert equals, this is the actual one and I want to check with the expected one. The first one will be actual one and second one should be expected. We need to end with colon. Now there is a error is coming, or so initially, because assertion we need to import it, right? Which will be importing? The assertion is a class available in org.junit.jupyter API. So we are already importing it. So now everything is working fine because this is the assertion class is coming from the JUnit. Now it should pass, right? Now let's try to execute the code and let's see what's happening here. So now whenever you are trying to run that particular class, JUnit class, because all the annotation you have tried to implement it is JUnit. At the rate test is a considered as a test method or actual test case, whereas before all, after all, before each, after each supporting annotation, right? Before all will be applicable at the class level only once. After all also will be applicable only class level once, whereas before each and after each will be applicable for every method level. Okay. Now if you want to run it, you'll be getting the option called run as JUnit test. So you can try to run it. So it will first, what's happened? Test method, static, void, assertion, playwright, must be non-static. Okay, that's fine. Okay, it will be non-static because that is the main method, right? So we cannot make it static. Okay, so it will be non-static. Otherwise, all the method will be static only. Okay, let's change it and let's try to run it. That is the way you can debug it and fix it. Okay, so these are the method also. What is the problem? Test engine with the encounter two critical issue. Before age method static, void, assertion, create contents must not be static. Okay, fine. So I can change it to non-static, but it should work though. Okay, we have already declared this static. Okay, so we can make it normal method that will still work without static. Let's make it everything as non-static. Now let's try to run with JUnit. Okay, let's see what's the error coming. So public static, we are defining everything is a static here. Then what we can do, we can call before all. Okay, that is perfectly fine. Before all we can make it static also. Okay, let's see what is the issue there. What is the actual method name we have given? That is perfectly fine here. Okay, we are giving equal to like that. Let's see what's that one. Okay, assertion, playwright, method name, launch browser, method type is coming here. Source error. Okay, before all, after all, method void, assertion, playwright, launch browser must be static unless the test class is annotated with @test instance. Okay, it should be static then. Okay, the main method test, it should be not be static. So let's see what are the stuff already open here. So test also coming from the Jupyter API, before each, after each, assertion also coming from, everything come from the coming here. Now let's try to run as again. Let's save the code and let's try to run as again JUnit test. Okay, some error is coming. Let's try to fix that one. Okay, let's give a pause. Okay, so now your code is actually working fine. Okay, so little bit correction I think required, some minor error was there, and I now what I have done, right? I have just added that at the rate at the last. It should not impact though. Okay, but now my test case executing perfectly fine. So let's try to run it again and let's see what's happening here. So same code, mostly same. There is no change only. So we'll explain it once more time. Let's run it first and let's see whether execution is perfectly fine. Opening the Facebook page, closing it. So we are defining these four, we're creating four objects for Playwright, browser context page, interface. In the before all, we are trying to launch the browser, so that we are trying to create an instance, right, for the Playwright and browser. After all, we are trying to close the Playwright instance. Before it, I want to execute at the every method level, so we are trying to create a new context and page. After each, we are trying to close every context. And here this is my main test case, right? Facebook page validation. We are trying to implement some code, first thing is code before JUnit assertions implemented. We are navigating to the Facebook page. We are now getting the URL, also telling with the we are getting the expected URL, some string variable. We are calling that assertion class, assert equals actual URL, expected URL, right? Okay, then we are trying to pin something called that code after assertions. So you could see this console, this is the stuff is coming. Now here you could see the JUnit thing is also added, right? This is the JUnit result is coming. You could able to see the class name Playwright Java JUnit 5. Okay, executing JUnit 5, and this is the second 1 second 406 millisecond is coming, and this is the method is being executed. So that is the way you can get to know whether test case got or fail, right? Pass or fail. Now, in case you want to fail the test case, suppose I am changing it to 1. Instead of www.facebook.com, I am changing it to 1. So I know the internet will be failed. Now let's see what's happening here. Okay, so it will try to execute it. It will fail now, right? You could see this is as child level is getting failed, parent level also fail. Run 1 of 1, right? Error 0 but failure 1. If you select the test case, you will able to see the assertion failure. You can copy the test or copy the result similar to that test ng, and you can get the details here. What is the reason, right? The failure is coming assertion fail error. Expecting was this, right? Okay, but actually it's coming like that one. Okay, so expecting this, but actually it was not the matching. Okay, so that is the reason it is getting failed. So that is the way, and which line number it is getting failed, you can get to know what is the line number it is getting failed, right? This is the getting failed at line number 55. Okay, this is actually failing. Okay, so okay, so it's perfectly matching this line number, assertion getting failed, and this is was expecting at not matching. Okay, expecting 1 but actually coming this one. Okay, so but we can correct it now, so it will be passed. Now we'll try to implement that. Mostly this is our hard assertion, so that is the reasons after it is failing, remaining line of code is not being executed. If you go to the console, you could only see code before JUnit assertion is got executed, not this code got executed, because here execution getting stopped for that particular method. Now what we'll be doing, we'll be trying to add something at the locator level as well. Okay, now let's go to the Facebook page, and now right click here, click on the inspect button, and try to identify something called login button. So what is the different stuff is there for the login button, right? What you can see here, for the login button, name equal to login there. So, and apart from that, there is something called test ID is there, so I can try to identify it with the help of this test ID. So what I can do, I can create a locator here. Okay, locator name I can give in sign in button. Okay, equal to page dot get by test ID. Okay, and here I can give that test ID, so that is the I can identify the element. Okay, now we need to import that locator here from the com.microsoft.playwright. Now I have already identified the locator. Okay, now what I can do, I can try to validate some of the stuff. Suppose say I want to validate the name of the locator, name field. So what is the name field value? Name field value is login. So what I can do, I can take that uh, object for the locator dot get attribute method call, and I can give something called name attribute. So what is the name? It will, I can store in some string variable, string actual um, okay, actual name attribute, actual name attribute value is the variable name. Okay, what is the name here? Name equal to login. So similarly, I can store in some expected variable value. Okay, string expected name attribute value equal to login, in the double quote login. That one I can also store it. Now what I can do, I can try to use the assert equal. Okay, I think the first one should be expected one, second one will be actual one. Let's see, change it here, and let's see what's happening here. There will be no impact, but during error part it will be much more beneficial. Okay, now if you try to execute it, so it will pass the test case. Okay, it is passing the test case. But here instead of assert equal, I can try to call the not equal method. So what will happen? It will fail the test case, right? Because both are same, but we are calling the assert not equal method. So you can see the error message. It will be failing actually, and you can get to know exact error message. So it will be executing the stuff, but it will fail the stuff actually, the test cases, because thing is not matching. You could see that assertion fail, expected was not equal. Okay, so that is the way you can get it, and which line number it is also fail, it will be also display. Okay, you can get the trace, copy the trace, you can get it, we can right, try to paste in notepad. You could see expected not equal. Okay, which was coming is not equal. Okay, we are expecting login one but coming as login. Okay, which line number error is coming? This is line number 61. Okay, let's check what is the line number. This is the line number 61. So you can correct it, instead of login we can change it to login one, so that it is not equal method will work perfectly fine. Now what we can do, we already created something called this one, that login button, right? So sign in button, whatever we have already created. Now what we can do with this particular sign in button, what we can do, we can call the method called all text content. What is return type? Return type is list of string. It's coming from the locator interface. So what I can do, I can store in some list of string. Okay, and I can give some variable. Say variable name is sign in button text value, right? This is the variable name. I can store it. Now we need to import that list interface from the Java util package. Now what I can do, this is the text is coming. Okay, so with this particular variable, what we can do, we can call the method called size to get the size, how many similar kind of element is there. Okay, so you can store in some integer. Okay, integer count is the variable I can store it. Now what I can do, I can, or maybe button count, right? Similar way, whatever way I can do it, count. Then I can again try to call something called assertion dot assert not equal. Okay, what I can give here, this variable called count variable, and so count actually is coming as 1, but in case I am giving it 2, so it will pass, right? So that is the it will pass. Apart from that, I can try to call other thing called assert true or assert false also I can call it. Assert true I can call it, right? It will be giving the boolean, right? So that is the way. What is that boolean value? If I want to make it true, I can give something count equal to 1, right? In case it's equal to 1, it will be true, then it will be passed again. So in case I want to call something called assert false, okay, I can give something called assert not equal to 1, so that it will be also true. So that is the way I can implement other stuff as well. Now here all my assertion is getting passed, so it will be completely passed now. Now let's try to run with JUnit test, so you could able to see will be passed. So that is the way I can try to implement like assert equal, assert not equal, assert true, assert false in using JUnit 5 in the Playwright with Java. So you could see test case getting passed. Now in case you are doing any variable, right, any of the assertion is false, then it will fail and you will be able to get the result. Now what I can do here, just similar one test case already created, I can try to create one more test case here. Okay, instead of Facebook page validation, I can create something called Google page validation. Okay, so what I can write, remove those code that is not required here, and I can end with that colon part. Now navigating to this part, so I can change it to something called Google. I'm going to this page. Instead of URL, what I can do, page dot title. Okay, what's to the title here? Expected also should be like Google, because that is the title of the page, Google. And if you open the Google page, so you could see the title is coming as Google. So that is the way I can do it. Now I can do the assertion here similar way. Okay, what is my assertion? This one I can call it here, so that also it will be passed. So I can change that variable name. Instead of URL, it will be title. Here also it will be title. Here also I can change it, check it. Okay, now my two test case will be executed here, right? Okay, now my two test case will be executed here. Okay, one is Facebook, one is Google. You could see now, if you're executing here, it will be two test case. This is the class and this is the two method is executed, right? So that is the way I can get the details from the JUnit. Now what you can do, you can simply copy this class and try to paste it here. Okay, and you can give some other name called 35 underscore 1, something like that, and you will be having another test cases where you can only have this test case called uh, right, this one. You can remove that one, so only one test case might be there. So here you can change the URL, right? Anything instead of that Google, what you can do, you can again change it to Facebook. Okay, okay, so that part you can do, and you can check all this. Might be you can validate the assertion. It will be again URL. That's fine, let's give it. Okay, so Facebook page, what is the title will be coming? So let's try to run it first to print the title. Page dot title here. So you can, after that we can change it here, right? Let's run it here as isolated way at this class level. Okay, so because title should fail here, so what is the title is coming? This is the title coming actually. Okay, this is the title. If we just change it, so it will work fine now. So what are the having two class? So 35 underscore 1, we already had the same copy, right? Whatever we already did, and 35 we have copied it, right? But we have changed it little bit here. We have removed one of the method, other step is still same. Now we are changing it. Now if I want to run it for the particular class level, now it will be passed because you already changed the title here. So it will pass now. Okay, Now that is the way I can try to execute like one class at a time. Okay, but in case I want to run all the JUnit class, right, all together in a single shot, that what I can do. These are the import is not required, so I can remove those import. Okay, save the code. Now this is the last topics for today's session. Run multiple classes using JUnit 5. To run multiple JUnit tests, user has to set run configuration into their Maven project. So go to the package explorer, right click on the project. Okay, from that menu will be getting option called run as. Okay, then run configuration. Okay, so what we can do here, run as, there will be option called unit test is coming, that is fine, but if you try to run it from here, you'll be getting the option called run configuration. Okay, here what you can do here, you can click on the plus icon. Okay, you can give some name called JUnit multiple class execution. Okay, and you can definitely your thing will be there. You can select that option, run all test case in the selected project package or source folder. So definitely this is the project you need to give, where you can apply it and you can try to run all the only JUnit class. So if you run it here now, all the JUnit class whatever you right now created, it will be trying to execute one by one, and you could able to see multiple class, and under the multiple class multiple methods will be running. So that is the way you can try to execute all the JUnit class. And definitely now you could see here 3 out of 3, but this particular class is having only one at the rate test method, right? This is the test method, but other one is having two, right, test method. So that is the only way, right, you can try to run all the details here. Okay, this is only having one and this is only having two method, right? One is Google and one is you could see here. So underscore one is having two method, Google page validation, Facebook page validation, and this is the other is also having one method, and you could able to see in case any test case got or passed or failed. So that is the way, right? If you want to run, execute or run multiple classes, whatever you have already created using JUnit, so you can also try to run it. Okay. So just like similar to TestNG, JUnit is also an inbuilt framework, right? So in Playwright, whenever you are dealing with Playwright with Java, you can try to use TestNG, which will be giving you also beautiful report. It will be giving you soft and hard assertion as well, and different annotations. Similarly, JUnit 5 also will be giving you a lot of annotations, right? Okay, so like at the rate before each, after each, before all, after all. And what you need to do, you need to just add this dependency, JUnit 5 dependency from the Maven repository to a Maven form.xml file. After that, you can call all the annotation, you can write your code, right? You can create multiple JUnit class, and you can add n number of assertion at the page level, at the locator level, or other way as well. And after that, you can try to execute the class level as well. After that, in case you want to run all the JUnit class at the same time, you can also do it through JUnit 5 as well. So that's all for today's session, guys. Thank you.